Hey everybody, welcome to String and Story. My name is Holly Ann Knight, and it's my job to guide you to quilt and to live with confidence. Today we're going to be making flying geese. Flying geese can be made a number of ways, but the ones that we're making today are like the ones that show up here in this sawtooth star of the Good as Pie placemat. Now, I love making my geese with my AccuQuilt because there's no waste. So I've got a couple of bits of fabric that I've just cut out real rough here. And the beautiful thing is that they can be real rough and we can still have success. Now I'm using one larger quarter square triangle die and a smaller half square triangle die. These will be the body of the geese, these will be the wings, all right? So I've laid my fabric on top of my die and paid attention to how the grain line is in relation to the blade. I'm simply gonna put my mat over the top and we can just turn this on through. Now you can cut up to 6 layers of fabric at once, which if you're doing the math means you can cut 24 goose bodies at the same time, which is a lot. So you could really make quick work of a whole bunch of flying geese if you're making a quilt with a lot of stars, anything like that, all right? Now we have our goose bodies, and I'm simply just gonna set these to the side for a hot second. And I'm gonna pull my half square triangle die over here. And I have 2 pieces of fabric here that I'm going to put right sides together. It doesn't really matter if they're right sides together or whatever for this particular exercise. If we were cutting half square triangles, we definitely want them right sides together. Again, making sure the grain of the fabric is lined up with those dies. And I have 2 pieces of fabric here to make 2 pairs because I still need 2 more for the sawtooth star that I'm working on, all right? And again, put your mat on. Run that right through your AccuQuilt. I'm just hanging on to it because it's on the edge of the table here. Slide, don't lift. Notice that that prevents all the static from being an issue. And peel off the bits. All right. Now, the actual sewing. What's very cool about the geese that we just cut out is that there is no waste with them. You see how precisely everything's going to fit together? If I do this with squares, I end up with bonus triangles, which isn't a big deal, but it's a little bit of waste, right? And with the AccuQuilt, you have an opportunity to prevent that. Now line up those squarish edges on one side, and you'll come up just shy of your point on the other, and sew a 1/4 inch seam right along the edge there. And I'm going to go ahead and feed 2 in and use them as leaders and enders for each other. No. I got to get myself turned around. There we go. All right. So you can see here just this 1/4 inch seam that I've sewn. Very easy. I'm going to press that open. Look at how beautifully that's coming together, y'all. Line up the second side in the same way. And sew that seam. I'm going to do the same thing with the second one that I did with the first. So press the wing open. And be mindful as you're pressing it, not to stretch that wing out. All right, so be gentle with your iron and with your goose. I can just set these aside because I don't need them at the moment. There we go. Feed the second one through. An easy 1/4 inch seam. Press the second wing open. And by George, that's a beauty. We have a lovely seam allowance up here, a nice sharp point waiting to shine, and a little bit of seam allowance the rest of the way around. So you can see these gorgeous flying geese. There's no waste, especially if you cut your first bits fairly precisely, and they come together super quick.